Thanks everybody for joining the webinar. My name is Kevin Ryan. I work at Irish Bioeconomy Foundation with my colleague Naveen. We work on multiple projects around the bioeconomy, including rural biope, um, which is helping rural regions in Europe adopt bio-based solutions. Um, so we're going to do a webinar as part of that to provide some information. This webinar will be about biomethane. We're involved in the Biomethane Development Office, which is a project involving ourselves, IBF, and Tipperary Energy Agency, Technological University of Shannon, and Tipperary County Council. And so my colleague AJ here is working at TUS, and I'll let AJ introduce himself, and he's going to go through a presentation on biomethane. Okay, thanks, AJ. Take it away there.
Thank you so much, Kevin and Naveen and IBF team, for giving me this opportunity to talk about the biomethane and its development. Recently, I joined as a manager in Biomethane Development Office, which is based in Tipperary. And there is a project called Biomethane for Carbon and Community, which is funded by Government of Ireland and European Union. And key partners are Tipperary County Council, IBF, and Tipperary Energy Agency, along with Technical University of Shannon. So, uh, so basically, welcome you all in this IBF's webinar series on biomethane. So there are 5 worrying Ireland's climate change trends, which I would like to share. First of all is 85% of energy needs are catering by the fossil fuel only in Ireland right now, and almost 1 million euros per hour or on oil and gas is invested. There were 2 worrisome weather records broken in 2023. 63% of Ireland's bird species are in decline, and half of the Ireland's native plants are in decline. And this is so worrisome. Along with that, Ireland will face EU fines of at least 8.2 billion after 2030 if we are not compliant. So for those reasons, it is very important to understand about the renewable energy and its uses. So here we are talking about the biomethane. So first of all, how is biomethane produced? So there are various sources such as slurry, silage, crops, food waste, crop residues. Those are called feed stock for the anaerobic digestion process. And this is a natural breakdown process that captures biogas, which consisting of methane ranging from 50 to 75%, and rest is carbon dioxide majorly. As a byproduct, we can get digestate, which can be utilized like a fertilizer for the farmers and the crop uses. And upgradation of those anaerobic digestion plants can be done, and it will produce clean, renewable gas, which is called biomethane. And it would consist around 45 to 85% by volume. In general, 95% purity is there, and rest is the carbon dioxide, which is minimal, which has been produced during the AD process. And there are various applications like heating, electricity generation, transportation. Along with that, it is a major source which can reduce greenhouse gas emission and support the circular bioeconomy and economy overall. If we compare biomethane versus other energy sources, then fossil fuel is not a renewable fuel. We know that it has a very high carbon footprint and availability is higher, thereby cost is lower for those fossil fuels. However, if we see the wind and solar, which is very predominant in the energy sector right now, they are renewable, but they are intermittent, and this is availability is weather dependent. However, biomethane is renewable, very low carbon footprint, and availability is very high, so it checked all the boxes. If we consider the biomethane in relation with Ireland sector, so Ireland is recognized as having one of the largest potential for biomethane production in Europe per capita due to Ireland's substantial agriculture sector. And accordingly, biomethane strategy has come up last year, and it is highly dependent on the agricultural sector. And generation of the renewable gases like biomethane. And the production target is around 5.7 terawatt hour per annum by 2030. Right now, grid capacity is very small because the biomethane is not injected in a full capacity, but there is a wide scope to produce and inject into the gas grids. In terms of rural job creations, so almost 17 jobs can be created as per one of the standard plant like 40 gigawatt plant, and 2700 jobs are expected by 2030. So the question is how biomethane can be used. It's a renewable gas. It can be used as a replacement of natural gas. Secondly, it is very identical for the uses in terms of natural gas. So no new and advanced infrastructure is required, and it can be blended with the existing gas line. And overall, it can have the capability to reduce more than 80% greenhouse gas emission. There are so many countries which have been using biomethane as a well-established source of the renewable gas, and we can take the clue from there also, and we are taking it. Few countries like Germany, Sweden, Denmark, they are also very pioneer in these activities. Apart from that, if we compress it to the 250 bar pressure, then it can be used for the bio-CNG, which can be again used for the heavy good vehicles and electricity generation as well. There are options to sold these gases if produced in a scale to various companies and industries who want to decarbonize themselves directly or indirectly. And there is availability of digestate also, which will be again utilized by the farmers as a fertilizer. And so in that terms, uh, by the complying all those norms like environmental and legal and regulatory norms, we can operate biomethane plants very easily and smoothly. If we talk about the other areas which is actually supporting the biomethane initiatives overall, so there is a new concept called decarbonizing zone. And these days, all county councils have come up with their separate decarbonizing zone. And one of the leading zones are Tipperary decarbonizing zone. And why it is very important? Because earlier it was a peatland which was operated by Bordnamona, a leading company in Ireland. Now these uh, peatlands have not been in use. So because peat-based and coal-based power plants have been shut already. So in these areas, people have transitioned towards new and renewable energy and the other sectors. And here, if we develop some kind of decarbonizing element like biomethane or other renewable areas development, so it will create rural jobs. It will overall support the national economy, and again the useful for the compliance for the climate change targets in those areas. Along with that, National Bioeconomy Campus actually lies within that temporary decarbonizing zone and the Just Transition Fund zone also. So basically, National Bioeconomy Campus these days is a very strategic location in terms of supporting bioeconomy, biomethane, and all circular economy elements. So biomethane for carbon and community project has been established last year only after development of the biomethane strategy, which is basically national strategy framework. And there are four partner members, as I already mentioned: Tipperary County Council, TOS, IBF, and Tipperary Energy Agency. In the phase one, team is dedicated to develop the different models and different analysis they are doing in terms of resource mapping, stakeholder mapping, research in the areas of sustainable agriculture, biomethane development in the region and beyond. And after that, the phase two will see the implementation of the actual biomethane plant development. And there are key outputs of the BCC project. This is these important outputs, which is actually developed in a very comprehensive way and supporting all relevant stakeholders, such as feasibility study of biomethane development, Basically, it is important for the area specific, and for that reason, people should be aware of the technology and its importance, and that is why this webinar series is being organized. So campaign communication and capacity building programs are very important, and we will work on that. Stakeholder collaboration is very important because we have to see the win-win situation for all those stakeholders, including communities, including ministries, cooperatives, and the all relevant stakeholders. For that, we will also be developing community cooperative models, which are more sustainable. And uh, again, the Center of Excellence for Biomethane in Tipperary and National Bioeconomy Campus, those are also important for us to support the decarbonizing zone and overall bioeconomy and biomethane sector. We will also research in the areas of investment planning, licensing, construction, and environmental and regulation areas. Apart from that, it is very important that bioeconomy sector is a very booming sector. So we will also observe and we will also point out some of the synergies between those booming sectors. And at the end, I would like to say that small changes always uh, translate to the big impact. And that is why Biomethane Development Office is dedicated for, and they are working for the uh, communities, for the overall nations in getting target of the climate change. Thank you so much.
Thanks for that,
Thank you.
AJ. And if anybody has any questions, they can reach out to AJ directly. Um, yeah, I think we can leave it there. Thanks, AJ.
Yeah. Thank you,
You
Ajay.
can stop the recording now.
Thank you so much.